The Spanish government has introduced significant reforms aimed at addressing the housing crisis and limiting the ability of non-EU citizens, including Brits, to purchase homes. Prime Minister Pedro Sánchez announced a package of 12 measures designed to tackle housing shortages and protect local residents. Among the proposals is a controversial tax increase for non-residents buying property in Spain, potentially raising the total tax to 100% of the property value. Currently, house buyers pay 10 to 12% in costs and taxes. Sánchez highlighted that in 2023, non-residents from outside the EU purchased 270 homes in Spain, often for speculative purposes rather than residence. He argued this practice exacerbates housing shortages and vowed to prioritize availability for locals. Large demonstrations across Spain reflect growing frustration among residents over housing shortages and the impact of foreign property investments. The reforms include creating a public housing company to build affordable rental homes and repurpose vacant properties. Sánchez revealed plans to integrate over 300 homes into the company, with 300 ready immediately. Tax incentives will be offered to landlords adhering to rental guidelines, while non-EU citizens face stricter regulations on property purchases. Seasonal rental fraud will also be targeted to discourage exploitation during the lucrative tourist season. Sánchez emphasized the need to balance tourism and investment with local housing needs. The government plans to mobilize Ecuador's $6 billion in loans and guarantees to construct 6,000 additional homes and impose tax reforms on short-term tourist rentals. Tourist apartments will be taxed more heavily, aligning their obligations with hotels and other businesses. Barcelona, a hotspot for anti-tourism sentiment, has already taken drastic steps, including banning short-term tourist apartment rentals from 2028. Mayor Jaume Collboni and local activists argue that platforms like Airbnb have driven up housing costs, forcing residents out of their neighborhoods. Housing prices in Barcelona have soared by 68% over the past decade, with rents rising 18% in June 2024 compared to the previous year. Tourism remains a driving force behind Spain's economy, with millions of international visitors opting for rental apartments over hotels. Data shows a 30% increase in visitors choosing rental properties in the first half of last year, further inflating demand. Residents in cities like Barcelona and Alicante have protested against overtourism, calling for reforms to protect local communities. The housing crisis has sparked a broader movement advocating for economic models that prioritize residents' needs over tourism. Sánchez assured that state-funded housing projects would remain public property to prevent exploitation by private entities. He described housing as a constitutional right and a cornerstone of Spain's welfare state, aiming to establish it as the fifth pillar of social support. At the time, these sweeping measures signal a bold attempt to address Spain's housing crisis, balancing the needs of residents with the country's reliance on tourism and foreign investment.